Let's be serious for a bit. This is a topic I feel as though people are not angry enough about. The Epstein files. If you're sensitive to sexual assault, cannibalism, and murder, please scroll now since I'm going to be very blunt about this topic. As we all know, there are pretty weird things in the files like Five Nights at Freddy's Corn videos, but there are way more serious things that I think people are not very aware of. I'm going to be talking about it in this video, so this is not a light topic at all. I don't care how much this might get taken down. We as a society are not even close to angry enough about this. On December 19th, 2025, the Epstein files were released to the public, and that day showed how the things we would joke about 5 years ago or whatever that might have happened on the island was much worse than we thought. One of the pages says blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump about 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was about 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Now, before we continue, let me remind you that the current president did these things willingly and knew he was forcing underage girls to perform oral sex on him. He would even go as far as to threaten the girls by telling them that if they went to authorities or told someone else about what happened, he would bury them in his golf course. Another pages reads, complainant following up after a call with NYPD officer regarding her previous tip, reporting that she was forced to perform sex acts when she was 13 years old and pregnant in 1984. Complainant also reported there were high-profile individuals involved in her sex trafficking and the murder and disposal of her newborn daughter. Complainant reported Donald Trump participated in regularly paying money to force her to perform sex acts with him and alleged Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn. President Trump would attend parties where Epstein would bring underage children to auction them off. Trump would invade their private parts by entering a finger and rating them on tightness. Majority of the guests at these parties were older men, some of which being Elon Musk and Trump's family. The girls would then be led to rooms where they were forced to perform sex acts. One of the victims, being 13 at the time, was forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, and some victims were even forced to allow the men to penetrate them. If this doesn't tell you how fucking messed up and shitty this situation is, don't worry because I'm still going to be talking about more. Another thing that happened was a 16-year-old girl was so distressed from what she was going through on the island wrote about how she wants Jesus to save her. Epstein saw this, and he and some of his friends dressed up as Jesus, raped the girl, and then murdered her. Epstein would also use scopolamine to drug his victims. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a drug that puts people into a childlike or zombie-like state, and this would make it easier to control them. Multiple victims have recalled being drugged with the scopolamine and going in and out of consciousness. The next things I'm talking about regards babies, so be prepared for that. His youngest victim was still attached to the umbilical cord. Let that sink in. The baby was literally fresh out of the womb. He even let the mother hold it and hear her voice so it would suck harder. Epstein would also use a hydraulic press to squish babies' heads to listen to their cries as they go silent under the literally crushing pressure. The last thing I will be talking about today is that they ate babies. They would take the organs and guts out and eat them. Some emails in the files even show that the babies consumed was being compared to cream cheese. As I said before, we aren't fucking angry enough. I don't understand why the FBI didn't even bother to properly redact the victims, but did it properly for the offenders. It sickens me. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. For more detailed videos on this topic, I recommend watching Call Me Chris and her deep dives on this topic, or even Danielle's video on it.